to start up a social enterprise, which joint is organized by the Royal University Phnom Penh, the University of Bedford, and Friends International. It is organized under development partnership in higher education program supported by Department for International Development through the British Council.
There's huge inequality in Cambodia between people. So we measure inequality in several ways. Income inequality in Cambodia has been increasing, both among the urban population and between rural and urban populations. At the same time, there's lack of access to jobs. So these three factors contribute to, however, social enterprises are still businesses. So that means they have to fill an existing gap in the market. They have to make profit. Therefore, they have to recognize an opportunity to start something new, to do something that will be effective. So, when you want to start a social enterprise, what can you do? The first step is to assess the market and see what is desirable. So, I think most of you who are already involved in social enterprise activity would know what a SWOT analysis is: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You have to assess what you can contribute to the market, what would be your weaknesses, what are other threats in terms of competitors or environmental threats or otherwise. So you look for existing market failure, how the market is not offering customers what they want.
Và sân chỉ riêng chỉ lúc tại ốc miền tam đến là social enterprise. Và sân chỉ riêng miền nước sạch phò núi số chi về phò rồi có miền sọc rọt chặt sọc rọt phò đến bạch núi này. Phát trong đó một bên là sang Cambodia riêng thì vấn đề Cambodia sát ná hay riêng và càng chọn này cô đầu vào của Kasama Samput kita lebih komuniti dan komunitas Kasama kita berkah dan betul-betul energi menurut program setelah sekolah nanti sesuatu hal kita termin sesuatu apa.ในCambodiaเราจะจับตามที่โซเชียลมีเดียitu potential របស់យើងជាកម្មជាអ្នកកម្មយុទ្ធសាសនាអ្នកកម្មពុទ្ធសាសនាយើងមានจักรยานไปជាកន្លងរបស់ព្រះសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធទីមួយអត្តចរិយាគឺមានន័យថាយើងធ្វើប្រសពមកនេះយើងគិតពីផលប្រយោជន៍ខ្លួនឯងហើយទីពីរយើងត្រូវគិតពីការថាញាតិចរិយាគឺត្រូវគិតពីញាតិសម្ដានរបស់យើងហើយទី3តែទៅមើលលោកកតចរិយាគឺតែទៅនឹងសង្គមចឹងក៏គឺយើងផលិតសុខម្ដងនេះដើម្បីប្រយោជន៍ខ្លួនឯងនិងប្រយោជន៍គ្រួសារហើយវាប៉ះពាល់ដល់ប្រយោជន៍សង្គមប្រយោជន៍ក្នុងគ្រប់គ្នាដែលគាត់ទទួលទានទឹកសុទ្ធហ្នឹងគាត់ប៉ះពាល់សុខភាពហើយគឺមិនមែនជាអ្នកការពុទ្ធសាសនាទេហើយ social enterprise មានន័យថាមិនមែនជាយើងដែលការដែលជីវភាពខ្លួនឯងរបស់យើងផ្សារភ្ជាប់ជាមួយជីវភាពក្នុងលក្ខណៈការពុទ្ធសាសនាយើងរកស៊ីប៉ុន្តែមិនឲ្យអ្នកវិទ្យាគាត់មានសេចក្តីទុកឬក៏រងទឹកភ្នែកវិសាយើងហើយយើងអាចនឹងមានចំណូលជួយខ្លួនយើងគ្រួសារនិងជួយសង្គមនឹងគឺជាចរិយារបស់អ្នកកម្មពុទ្ធសាសនាហើយយើងจะចាប់ផ្ដើមពី social enterprise.
You should not start a social enterprise if you expect to make a lot of money out of it, because that's really not the objective of it. Again, start a regular company. And something very important, I think, I'll put it straight at the beginning. I found a very interesting definition of what entrepreneurs or enterprise. It's you find or you identify an opportunity and you tackle it without regard to the existing resources that you currently have at hand. It means that you do take a certain level of risk in your endeavor. And social enterprise has a level of risk because you are trying to address something in a different way, or you try to address something that is really difficult to change. You take risk. If you're not a risk taker, probably social enterprise is not exactly your field. So be aware of that. And linked to this, of course, it's hard work, it's extremely long and tiring, and the results are not always what you expect. So if you are on the pessimistic side, that's probably not your field either.
It's more difficult to address. But doing business is difficult. And when you do it private sector or social enterprise, it's always difficult. You always need resources. That's also difficult to get for everybody when they start. So there is, I think, an opportunity here to identify a little bit more what the social part is that makes it difficult compared to commercial business, which is also difficult.
I think to start a real social enterprise or a social business, you need to have a very strong social drive, something that makes you really upset about the situation now and that you really think should be changed, and that what you are going to build is going to achieve that. If it's just to get funds for your business plan, it's a shame, and actually it's piggybacking on something that's fashionable, and that's the risk. It's going to happen, but it's not what should be done. Again, being an entrepreneur is about taking risks, about not really looking at the resources you have. So it's not about, oh, social enterprise is going to allow me to get more funds. It's about, I'm going to do something to change what I see, and I'm going to do it now, and the funds will come. We're lucky currently that, yes, social enterprise is fashionable, but that's not what it's all about.
So everybody is looking for the new way, and one way of doing it is social enterprise. Again, social enterprise can be very financial return and social return, and we kind of see this striving challenge, the balance. When you challenge it, then you got to have some creativity. You got to have something more efficiency, and you got to have something new things, and that's something that the investors and donors are looking at and hoping that something new, good initiative is coming out.
What is stakeholder? Stakeholder, it has many different meaning or definition based on answer, something like that. And now here, what we learn here, the word stakeholder, it means who involved with the project and who get the benefit from that. And we also have one case study with the FGSE. The word FGSE comes from the word sustainable, green, full enterprise. This company, they focus on the word charcoal. That is focused on environment. They have their own partner, and they also have a supply is located near Samyangjae, and they focus on the most people that they work with the garlic and most of them they inherit from the poverty, because nowadays they move the place that we keep the rabbit to the farm in Chennai. So most of them is far from them. So that's why when they create this business, most of them can work with their enterprise.
On environment already. So this means if their social environment, social enterprise is involved in some point with the Ministry of Environment. But it's very important or significant for their business because they focus, it's their business and for profit business. So environment is their mission, so it's important for them. And for NGO, we have only a report some because as we can know, as everyone knows, it's social enterprise and they cooperate, they communicate with NGO. But it's not really important because in some ways they have owner, donor or founder, and for NGO, they sometimes communicate with them for the promotion or marketing. Like if they want to go into one community, they will just ask the NGO which is located in that community to try to help to promote and spread out the information that they have to bring fuel products. And then we have government. So as you can see, government also play an important role as the stakeholder for all the social enterprise. So for government also, even though we are social enterprise, we also need to pay some tax in some cases. According to, like, for example, employee, we also need to pay tax salary, and when it generates income or profit, we need also to pay tax on that.
The first thing is in marketing strategy, we need to understand the customer. Why? Why we need to understand the customer? Because we need to develop but once we understand the customer, we can develop the organizational goals for our project or our goals in the social enterprise. Meaning that we do the market research, then try to adapt what are already designed for our products. Based on what we have find out from the customer, based on locations, based on the culture and everything. So this is important to do the marketing research before you start your social enterprise. Because like our colleagues have already mentioned that we are a social entrepreneur, we want to sell our products. But then when we got the products but no one buys it, it is meaningless, right? Like the young ladies already mentioned a moment ago. Yes, and this is also important. I mean, I'm really interested in the phrase from Friends International. He mentioned that don't sell what you can make, but make what you can sell. This is very important for the social entrepreneur to consider. Yes, and the other points that also a key strategy for marketing is that the word of mouth. You understand the word of mouth means that okay, once your product is good and somebody buy it and feel like enjoy and comfortable with the products you have, and then they start telling up their peers for at first and then to everybody else, and then your products will be well known sooner or later from this. So the word of mouth also the point for the marketing strategy that I have noted from the speakers. And also, last but not least, unique selling point is also very important in marketing strategy. The unique selling point is based on each goal of social enterprise. Let me give a little bit brackets for what is USP or unique selling point. Unique selling point is allow social enterprise to make a single unique benefit, and it's like how you as a social enterprise promote or advertise your products to the audience and to the customer, for example, and then that the USP is unique that the other social enterprise enterprise or social entrepreneurs doesn't, or the competitor don't offer what you can offer. So this is called a unique sell point. And this is important again, or everything is important here. This is important to consider in marketing strategy because if your USP is strong, convincing, bold, and truly unique, people will want to do business with you, and people will want to get your service or want to buy your products. Yes, and this doesn't always solely exist, and then we need to also have a look at the effective buyer communication, which is shortly called AIDA. A stands for attention, I stand for interest, 3 stands for desire, and 4 stands for action. So, what the social enterprise mean about the attention? For example, a very easy example is that you are a social entrepreneur and you produce a clean water. Yes, clean water. And then from the attention, from the physical label of your products, if it isn't unique, if it isn't interesting, people will never have attention to your products. For example, if the water is displayed here and the label isn't really interesting, and then you will never pay attention at all to see that. So it is important that your label of the product is hooked the audience or the customer. This is attention, based on what I understand. Tell me if I'm wrong, the speakers. And for the interest is mean like when you got the product is attention, you wanted to see it because you walk and then you see the sign and then you have to look at it is very attractive, and then you feel interested in what is the product. You're interested to know more. You're interested to find out more. And then 3 for the desire. Design means like, okay, when you understand, you got the attention from the product, and then you got the interest to find out more, and after you find out, okay, that's what I really want. You know, like the desire, like this is what I'm looking for, and then this is what I really want. Or even you are a social enterprise and you're opening a restaurant, like because you are unique from others, you provide a very special menus. So when I see the menu, it is interesting, attractive, and I see the menu, I'm interested to see what goes on the menu and the price, of course, and then okay, this is what I'm looking for. Very good. It looks good. Then the price is acceptable. Why not? Why not go for it? Okay. Yes. Last but not least is action. It's action. It's very easy. Like because you got the first 3 points already in mind. Then your action is whether you decide to buy or whether you decide to use that service or whatever from the 3 I've already mentioned. So these are all the very important points for the marketing strategy and social enterprise.
And about the strategy, how can we convince the donor or the bank donor to share the budget to run our project is very challenging, and the experience getting to those response is they said that we have to meet really different people as many as possible. So the first step is meeting that try to get neighbors and try to approach other people as possible in order to mention about your own idea, creative idea, to get them to know you and get them to pay some money for your project or program. And also they mentioned about the second step regarding to analyze and categorize those specific questions that you have asked. You have to classify them into category, what kind of field that the project or the program that you are planning to operate. And also how can you make sure that they interest in your proposal or something like that. So you have to adapt your speech. It means that when your proposal submit to the bank donor or any relevant stakeholder, you have to make sure that you have to adapt point that they not understand. So somehow, if you mention about any activity or any project that is relevant for them, it is very challenging for them to give you the money to run the project. It is also the challenge. That's why you have to adjust or amend in your project or proposal to make sure that your project proposal is convincing to the bank donor or something like that. And any other point is regarding to know yourself that how your qualification and be a potential as the creative social entrepreneurs to make sure that you are very trustful and trustworthy for the bank donor, also for another person that willing to interest in your project or something like that. And the last point they focus to the specific person and also like get the quantity of the projects or the program that you plan to implement. And why this is the main 5 step of actually organization that they start up with their own financial only $5 US just a startup, and it is very convincing to the participant to make sure that how his program or project will be more sustainable in the coming year or in the next 5 years, something like that.